Lesson 3.9, exact trig values graphically of non-quadrantal angles, or really they're called a reference angle. So these are just angles that fall on the 30, 45, 60 degree marks instead of on the 0, 90, 180, 270, 360. So this will go to our special right triangle stuff. Okay, so we've got sine of 30 degrees. 30 degrees would be a third of the way to 90, so let's just say it's right here. That would drop down a leg to make our right triangle look like this, with this being our 30 here. Okay, so let's come down to the triangle real quick so we can show some work here. The one that's got the 30, that should look exactly like what we drew. Our radius every time is going to be 1, or our hypotenuse, I should say, in this picture, because this is making a unit circle where this radius is always 1. So remember that in a 30, 60, 90, this is my leg, and this is my 2L. So if the 2L is 1, divide by 2, I get this leg to be a half, right? Because I divide by 2. So it's like doubling a half gets me a whole. So let's say that this is a half, and then this longer leg is leg times a square root of 3. And so I just simply plug in 1/2 times square root of 3, multiply straight across, that's square root of 3 over 2. So in this picture here, I'm wanting to know sine of 30. Well, sine is always the y, or the opposite leg. So I'm asking, how tall is this? Well, that's a half. And another thing I want you to realize is that we said this was square root of 3 over 2 for the longer leg. 1/2, we should all know, is 0.5. Square root of 3 over 2 is almost 9/10. So this leg is longer and this is shorter. That should help you remember which one's where. All right, next one is sine of -45. -45 would go this way. Oh, what am I doing? -45 would be here. Sorry. So that'd be halfway. Create your triangle. Here's your 90. Here's your 45. Okay, so let's go to our 45, 45, 90 triangle. This is still a hypotenuse of 1. Remember that this is leg, 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 square root of 2. So I would have to divide by square root of 2. And then rationalize, which gets me square root of 2 over 2 for each leg. So this is square root of 2, square root of 2, 1. So this would be square root of 2 over 2, square root of 2 over 2, 1. Sine is the y value, so this is square root of 2 over 2, but this is going down since we're in quadrant 2, so it'd be a negative square root of 2 over 2. Once you get all the reference angles figured out, you just keep reusing these same measurements. We have cosine of 240. 240 would be past a 180. Wouldn't it be 60 more, so it'll be 1/2 of the way, and look like this. Here's your 60 for your reference angle, because this is 60 degrees past a 180. So we're looking at this guy right here. Well, this is the same as this, just a different orientation, but the short leg across from the 30 should be a half. The long leg across from the 60 should be square root of 3 over 2. That was at almost 9/10, and then this is still 1. So in this picture, if I want cosine, I don't want the longer leg. I actually want the shorter leg. The 1/2 is my x value. And it would be negative because we're going to the left. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't even see. Like that. So this is the distance of cosine, would be the x value, negative 1/2. All right, number 4, cosine of 120. We're not quite to a 180, we're 60 degrees from it. So that would be a 30 past the 90, it would be here. So here's your 60 degree reference angle again. And so this would be the long leg, which we said was square root of 3 over 2. Oop. And this is the short leg, that's a half. And so we want the x value, which would be negative a half. So I want you to notice That 3 and 4 got the same answer because both of their reference angles were 60. Both of them became negative because they were on the left two quadrants, 2 and 3. All right, and then last we have tangent, which are kind of the most annoying because we have to actually divide something. But 210 is going to be a 30 as our reference angle, because 30 plus the 180 would make 210. Okay, across from the 30 is going to be our short leg. Across from the 60 is your longer leg. This is 1. So we want to take tangent is y divided by x. 1/2 divided by square root of 3 over 2. Do you remember that you can't divide fractions? You have to multiply by the reciprocal. So you flip. And so that would be 2 over 2 square roots of 3. Then you have to rationalize. And so that would be 2 square roots of 3 over 3. 2 times 3 is 6, and that would be a third. So 1/3 would be square root of 3 over 3. And it would be positive because I'm taking a negative divided by a negative. So you need to remember that tangent of a 30 reference angle is square root of 3 over 3. And then tangent of a negative 45 would be here. That's our reference angle. So remember the legs are both square root of 2 over 2. So we need to take this divided by this. So it'd be square root of 2 over 2 divided by square root of 2 over 2. Hopefully you know that anything divided by itself is going to make 1. So these cancel, so it's just 1. But you're taking a positive divided by a negative would get you negative 1. So use these measurements every time. Think, what are the legs? What am I finding? Am I finding the height, which is the y? Am I finding the length, which is the x? What quadrant am I in? And what's my reference angle?